All right. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sitting down with Taylor Reid, pro triathlete from Ontario, Canada. Guelph, Ontario to be exact, right, Taylor?
Yeah, that's where I'm living right now. Been here for, I think, about 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? Nice.
it's good.
And you're originally from Caledon, Ontario, right?
Yes, that's where I was born and raised, and parents still have the place, so it's always nice to go back there.
Right. Yeah, Caledon's a nice place. Um, so how did you get started in triathlon?
So triathlon was actually kind of interesting. So I first started in like mountain biking as a young kid. So my parents put me into kind of the basics, all the sports. So I started with like soccer and like sort of floated around, but I really found I gravitated towards the individual sports. So my dad mountain biked. We did a few 24-hour races and I really enjoyed that. So I went towards that and did a few O cups just for fun. And
Oh,
then
did you?
I started with a few O cups like way, way back. This would have been, oh gosh, I don't even know what year, but when I was like 8 kind of deal. I still have my mountain bike from that time.
I may have been racing at the same time.
Yeah, maybe.
I did O Cups back in the day. That was the first thing I did.
Yeah. It was like I did mostly Albion Hills. That was like where
Okay.
we'd go. Like so I did like a couple of those just for fun. And then I think I did and Kids of Steel around that time.
Okay.
Like one of Barry's ones, but it never really clicked. And then essentially I started running in like grade 8 and I found that I was really good at it. So I said I wanted to win like the regional meet the next year and I went looking for a coach. And it so happened that my parents were part of C3. It was the local club. I showed up and essentially Barry was like, yeah, sure, you can like join in. Met up with the
That's
group. Yeah.
that's Barry Shepley, right?
Yeah, Barry Shepley. Yeah.
So you
So,
got sucked into the Shepley vortex.
oh, very early. I was like 12 years old.
We've talked about the Shepley vortex on this channel before.
Oh yeah, it's very powerful and very, very positive too, which is awesome. So yeah, he brought me on board there. We were running at like a horse track. Like there was nothing fancy. Like we were just at a horse track in Caledon and we do hill reps in the winter. And I dedicated myself fully, like would be out there doing hill reps in the middle of a snowstorm. And like he was out there shoveling a path so we could do our workout. And I went and basically won my regional championships. So like I sort of showed early on that like yes, I had some talent, but the hard work really paid off. And I basically won, I think probably grade 9-ish. I sat down with Barry, maybe it was grade 10, at the classic Tim Hortons talk that he did with a lot of his athletes, age group and like elite alike. And he sort of was like, yeah, Taylor, you're a good runner. I had obviously a biking background. I'd been doing some like duathlons to stay fit, no swimming background other than just like jumping in the lake at the cottage. And he's like, okay, like you could be a good runner. You could probably be like maybe a collegiate runner. But if you look at sort of Canadian running right now, there was Reid Coolsat was the best. And he was very good, don't get me wrong. But we had on the triathlon side, Simon Whitfield as our Canadian superstar, who had just
Right, right.
basically at that time essentially won the Olympics like a few years earlier. And he was like, well, like as Canadians, like we do really well in triathlon. Why don't you give triathlon a shot? Like there's a possibility to make like a career out of that. And I was like, ah, sure. Like I wanted the challenge and I basically jumped in. Pretty sure my first like real triathlon was essentially national championships in I think it was Professor's Lake in Brampton. And like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah, I got demoed. Like I was me and Johnny, we were like surviving not to get lapped out. Like it was like we were just like barely making it. Then I ran well enough to like whatever come like in the top 20 or something like that. And yeah, I just sort of like built with that. I believe even early those days we were working a little bit with Miguel for swimming. Like he was kind of like early on
Really?
helping.
Oh,
Like I can't remember when he came in, but he did come in fairly early on in my swim career. And yeah, like from there on, I just like took off into triathlon and have basically made it my career after a few national medals. And we can sort of go into a little more detail on why I switched over to long course, but that's sort of the start of how
Okay,
triathlon, like in my life. Yeah.
right. So you at some point you switched over to long course. Did like what was the driving factor to go from
Yeah, so like going from short course, so obviously short course for your viewers who don't know is a draft legal kind of format. So that's the kind of format you'd go to go to the Olympics. So that's obviously most every childhood dream of like make the Olympics. And I was with a very good group, like we had Johnny Rasmussen, Andrew York, who actually did make the Olympics. I was training with, and we went to McMaster as like our actual like university base. So as I was like coming up as a junior basically my first year at university. I came second at the national championships, but they didn't take me to worlds because I missed like the cutoff, like nationals was too late. So I was like, okay, like cool. I had an awesome experience. I have a national medal. This is awesome. So I kept pushing, and then we went up into the U23 ranks. We had a really cool like setup where the varsity team would let us be on both swimming and running at the same time. So even although I wasn't a strong enough swimmer to actually ever go to be a varsity swimmer, I was allowed to swim with them. So I was
um,
the women's beating boy, but that's perfectly fine. I didn't mind that I was literally like one of the slowest people in the water. I was getting great experience and like I was able to help out some of the women as a pacer and stuff like that. But on the cross country side, I was basically help our team essentially come top four at nationals multiple times and take medals home at the provincial championships. So it was really good to help the cross team. So that was cool. But essentially in the triathlon world, I went in U23 on my, when I think it was 2013, essentially my second last year. So I'm 23. So I've got 1 year left. And I won the national championships, came second out of the elite national championships. Only Kyle Jones was the only person to beat me that day. And they still wouldn't take me to Worlds. So I was
oh
like,
geez.
okay, like it's politics. My swimming wasn't fast enough. Like there was a crash, whatever happened on that day. I was still like, you can't take that away from me. I'm still a national champion forever. So that was really, really amazing. And I basically came out of the water like second last, rode up to the front, and then ran my way into like winning nationals. So it was very like showed my strengths in swimming, biking, and running, but my swim was just never strong enough to be like a world contender. So I
Okay.
was in Spain with Barry training like at the national camp, and he's like, okay, like you're basically 24 now. You're done university next year. You have a big choice right now. You can either continue chasing this Olympic dream, and he was like frank with me. He's like, you're probably not going to make it. Like you haven't even made worlds, or you could try long course, which is going to be way more suited to you. Like the swim doesn't matter as much. And then you're biking non-draft, so you're all time trial. So all of a sudden, even if you're behind on the swim, your strong biking skills will actually shine through and you're a strong enough runner. So he's like, let's give this a shot and like go all in. Like C3 will support you. Obviously, if we don't know what C3 is already, it's our great club in Caledon that has supported so many athletes coming up. And he's like, okay, like we're here to basically push you through for the first year or two, like financially and just like community wise. And so basically, I said, sure, like let's give it a shot. Like I went all in, and essentially the first non-draft race I did was just an Olympic, so it wasn't the full 70.3, but there was like some big guns there, like Brent McMahon, who was like a former Olympian, one of the best
Right.
long course triathletes at that time. Like uh, Sean Bechtel was at this race, and like I won the whole race, and it was like, dang, like I made a paycheck. Like all of a sudden, like things were sort of coming together, and I had to like obviously the growing pains of the longer like distance, but by year two, I was podiuming and winning international races and
Oh,
actually made a career out of it. And for the last roughly 10 years, some years have been worse than others, but I've got like, I can't remember exactly, but like four huge big wins and then like something like 25 podiums or something like that.
oh
Yeah.
really?
And like over 50 top fives. So it's been pretty awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I know from my past experience being a friend of yours that
Hmm.
you've raced against some of the biggest guns in the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I've raced against Jan Frodeno, who like recently retired, was literally the goat of the sport. Like stood on the sort of extended podium with him, like top five. So that was really cool. I've like come so close to beating Lionel, but I've never beat Lionel. Like dang it.
That's
We
Lionel Sanders that
Yeah,
people don't.
Lionel Sanders. Yeah, we had an amazing race. Like that was probably actually the race in 2015 where I was like, I actually truly knew that I'd made it as a professional. It was in Mont Tremblant, and I was still a nobody on the circuit, but essentially I swam okay, rode really well, came off the bike with Lionel Sanders and basically five or six other guys. And on the run, there was basically three of us just trading punches for 21 kilometers. And finally, with the like 1K to go, Lionel like breaks away and we drop the third guy. And it's basically, I lost to Lionel by like 40 seconds. And it was like tears, like we hugged each other, all that kind of emotional stuff. But that was like when I truly knew I was like among the best in the world and I could probably win some big stuff. Yeah.
That was the world championship race,
No,
wasn't it?
that wasn't the
No?
world championship. It was that was the year after, but still like
Oh,
a very big international race. Yeah. If I was
right.
second at the world, I'd be making a bit more money.
Cool. So, yeah, you were a pro triathlete. You're still a pro triathlete, right?
Yeah, like I'm definitely on the last couple of years of my triathlon career. Like I'm back in school for civil engineering, so I'm basically like kind of stepping into the next like phase of my life. But yeah, I'm sort of keeping it like I'd say I'm semi-pro, where I'm like still racing on the like sort of local circuit, but international races just with like family, school, everything are kind of
Right.
stepping back. But I'm always going to enjoy the sport, so yeah. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And your mom and dad are athletes as well,
Yeah,
right?
they started because of me, but yes.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so like dad always did mountain biking, same with mom, and like dad ran like way back in high school. But essentially when I started working like training with C3 more like seriously, they're like, well, we have to take you to all these practices. We may as well do them as ourselves. So like they would take me to York Track and they do the run workout like with the age groupers and I do it with like the junior elite guys. And so they started like swimming, biking, and running. And then I want to say like I can't remember what year, but one year they finally signed up for an Ironman. And like dad was like, please don't do this to me. But mom like hit set, like sign up, and they were like in for Mont Tremblant. So yeah, they would have done uh, the full Tremblant before I did the half when I did like my big race because they did full Tremblant when I was still in ITU stuff like 20, I don't know, like 12 or 11 or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, 2012 was the first year of the long distance.
Okay.
At
Yeah. There's probably that one. Yeah.
I think we there was a bunch of us. I think there was like
Yeah.
30 of us that went.
Yeah.
I didn't quite know your parents yet as of then, but
Mhm.
yeah, I slowly got to know them.
Yeah. They're interesting.
And you did a challenge race in New Brunswick.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
that was 2016.
That one would have been 2015 because it was the same year as
15?
Tremblant.
Okay.
That was I came second at Tremblant, and then I like podiumed a couple times, and that was the first pro race that I won. So that was really cool because like a lot of the C3 group, which had obviously supported me to get there, were there. Like I think Barry was even there himself. My
Yeah.
parents were racing that race. That was really cool. Like I got to give them their medals, like their finishing medals and stuff like that. And it was like an
Right.
awesome, like kind of like it was a big race, but it felt like very grassroots homey, like kind of like with a
Right.
Canadian feel and just like out east is a bit more like smaller, which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad they canceled that
Oh,
race.
I
That was
know.
a good race.
It only lasted like 3 or 4 years, but yeah, they just don't get enough people out to some of the events, sadly.
Right. So how has triathlon changed your life?
Um, well, obviously it was my life. Like that was very interesting. So like it made me who I am, you could say, in a lot of
Mm.
ways. Like
Okay.
I definitely poured like every ounce of my being into a sport and it gave back a lot, but it also took a lot from me. So it made me very, very resilient. I personally am dyslexic as well, so I had to go through a lot of difficulties through school, and that was sort of my outlet that made me who I was and like was able to give me a personality. Like even in high school, it was sort of like before I found running, I didn't really know who I was. I found running and I all of a sudden became the running guy. And like my school was pretty sporty, so like a lot of kids supported that. So that kind of gave me a little bit of a group to like hang out with, and obviously a lot of positive like traits. Like instead of going out and smoking pocket pot in the background, I was like going for my 30-minute run. And like I found a
Right.
lot of people that were like that. Like Johnny Raz was like Andrew York were all part of my wedding group. So like I've got some amazing friends that like I found and just like positive people. And just being able to like sort of see it was really neat and crazy when you're like 24, 25 at like kind of the peak of your career and there's like you're running at like some track meet or something and or a local like triathlon and one of the young kids like a 15-year-old or a 12-year-old comes over and is like, "Oh, Taylor, like you're like kind of like idol to like look for like as like a pro or whatever." And I'm like, "Wow, like I actually kind of have a little bit of a ripple effect to the younger kids and also the older generation who are like part of the club who sort of like look up to you and ask you questions, like being like, "Oh, what do you think about this? Like, how do you think I should do like my nutrition?" But it's been really, really fun being able to like give back, not just have like triathlon give to me. I'm able to give a little bit back. Um,
Right.
yeah, but it's been my whole being until I had a kid, basically. Yeah.
So you're going to step into civil engineering.
Yeah.
What what civil engineering? What would you be doing with that? I'm
Yeah, so civil is like you're basically like it's anything to do with infrastructure. So
oh,
I'm not doing the university route, I'm doing college route, so I won't be like fully designing and building, say, bridges or something, but I'll be part of the team. So right now I've done a bit of surveying. You can inspect, you can design, but essentially it's anything to do with a lot of road stuff, anything to do with water. So I'm really, really interested in how water works. I think that's partly because of the swimming background and stuff, but I'm
okay.
really excited about like how water moves around and like when water falls and like all that storm water goes somewhere. So I think my ideal future job might be a stormwater management kind of position where I look at huge plots of land and I'm like, okay, if a huge, say, 10-year storm or 100-year storm happens, that where does the water all flow? Is there going to be a flood? How do we like basically design it so that doesn't happen? Yeah, so we'll kind of see where it takes me, but I'm just sort of feeling it out. And I've been since I'm a like mature student, it's kind of funny with all the like 18, 20-year olds. I'm kind of like guiding them on like snow guys, like let's sort of focus over here.
Huh.
But yeah,
And what college are you going to?
I'm in Conestoga right now. So
Oh,
that's
Conestoga. Okay.
like, yeah, I decided to, it's a little bit closer. It's probably one of the closer ones where I am, but works pretty
Okay.
good. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great. So how many hours? Well, let's start off with how many hours did you train when you were actually like,
Yeah. When I was like all in, it was anywhere from 20 to 35 hours. So like on average, you'd probably be hitting about 28 hours of training.
wow.
So yeah, it's pretty up there. Like some guys went a little bit crazy and blew up with 40 hours, but yeah, we had some like amazing big weeks. And it was all about like not doing a 40-hour week and then a 10-hour week. It was always about building up to that 28 hours and continually doing it over and over again. Because really,
Right.
the only way you're going to be at your best and actually win races is essentially the epic one day training session doesn't matter. It's all about doing it over and over and over again and stacking workout upon workout. And by the time you get to the race, you have hundreds of hours of great performance under your belt. And that's when you're able to perform. It's not about having a couple hours that are amazing and then 20 hours that are garbage. It's about
Right.
having preferably 15 hours that are good, and some might be better, some might be worse, but it's all about that amazing like middle ground where everything's like you just keep plugging away. It's not like sprinting where you have to be on 100% hitting your times every time. It's like, no, if you can get out there, perform well enough, you're gonna keep building up. Yeah, so it was big chunky days.
Okay. And you had Barry as a coach back then,
hmm
right?
Yeah, he was my coach for a good chunk, like I'd say maybe like 5 years or so. So yeah, he's always been like sort of in the background, making sure I get some input. Yeah, so it's been good.
Okay. And how many? I've noticed on Facebook that you're doing ultra marathons
Yes,
lately.
yeah.
That's
That's like I love running. So like out of the three, swimming is my least favorite, biking's like second, and then running's my absolute favorite. And I kind of started like my running stuff like on the trails. So I loved like just running like sort of local five peaks, kind of just like running through the trails. And I've always wanted to like sort of jump into one of these longer races. And was like
okay.
so the sponsors were happy that I was doing that. And like I didn't have to travel as far because there's a race in like Hamilton. So I basically jumped in and pulled the trigger and went and did a 50 some odd K race in the trails, and I'm
And did I
hooked.
see you were on the podium for Sulphur Springs?
No, not for sulfur, but I've won two of them. So I've done three. I won my first two. Sulfur, it rained the whole time, so I caught like hypothermia and
Ooh.
like blew up so hard. But I guess it's all learning, and it's kind of
Yeah.
fun because
Yeah.
like I've done triathlon for 20 years, so there's like there's still stuff to learn, but there's nothing really for me to learn. I just have to keep doing the work. Whereas with trail running, like I've been doing this for 6 months, so I'm making all the new mistakes and like
Right.
all the like the first one I did, I'm like, I don't know how fast I'm gonna go. So it's a brand new like the PB on the first gun. Like whereas like with triathlon, I know all my times, so it's like PB is very hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many hours a week are you training now with school and
With like
young
school
family?
and the young one, like when I was in school, I was probably able to get like maybe 15-ish. So like kind of 2 hours a day, with like a 4 hour long run on the weekend. So like anywhere from like 12 to 18 hours, I'd say. So still a good amount,
Oh yeah.
but nowhere near like the same level. So yeah, life balance happens. Obviously I have 20 years of like basically base. So I just have to stay
Right.
sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Muscle
just got to
muscle
keep
memory
your tempo
counts.
sharp.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And you have sponsors?
Yes, yeah. So obviously like early days, C3 was very good. They with Benson Steel and Royal Containers, they sponsored me. And then eventually they sort of like to help the younger like athletes. So eventually I sort of graduated out of that. And I got a bunch of like bike sponsors, wheel sponsors, all the kind of classics. Now I have a car dealership right here. Got Pfaff Subaru. So
Yeah.
they're like our local car dealership, and then I had Erdinger like non-alcoholic beer. We're kind of in discussion about signing this year again, and I'm
Okay.
with Vision Wheels and Chrono like Nutrition, which is like a brand out of Quebec. Yeah,
Oh,
so
is
that's
it?
yeah, still got out good. Yeah, if you like the maple syrup gels, they make like a great one. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I'll have to check them out
yeah, yummy.
for sure. So, what are your plans for the future?
Uh, for the future, I want to definitely kind of dabble a little bit more in the ultra running. So I think as things go, I'll probably slowly phase out triathlon and focus on the like pure running side because that's where like my true heart is. As like I
Okay.
kind of like no longer am like less and less pro in the triathlon scene. But this year I still have like Guelph Lake 1. I'll do an Xterra in Ontario and then Guelph Lake 2. And I'll probably try and race the 10K Trail National Championships in Quebec. And then
Okay.
maybe I might throw in like another 50K. But essentially, I'm just keeping it rather local, like Ontario, Quebec, maybe a little bit like in that kind of like range, like a couple hour drive to 8 hours of like would be the longest I want to go right now, just with the
Right.
family. It's really hard
Yeah.
to like travel across the world, but maybe with ultras, like there's some pretty amazing races in France and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mont Blanc.
Yeah, that's like don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
You have to speak to Barb and Richard Ehrlich
I
about
know,
that.
yeah. Well, that's the crazy thing. Like our community, like that you're a part of, we have so many cool, like, and experienced people. Like I know Barb and is it Richard?
Richard.
Richard, yeah, from like they were from my high school days. Like they basically we did an adventure race and they kind of mentored us. So I've like known them since high school and like yeah, they've done some really really cool like adventure stuff that I would like
Right.
totally love to pick their brains over. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. So do you have a coach now?
Not really right now. I just am self-coached with 20 years of like experience. I sort of know what I need, but I still keep in touch with J Dominika Jamnicki and
Okay.
Kyle Boersma are kind of like my sounding boards, I'd say. Like I bounce ideas off of them, and they have like a club that's in Guelph that I'll like hook up with and basically do run workouts and like swim bike run workouts. So they were
Okay.
kind of my last coach before I kind of like was like, okay, time to sort of self-coach and focus on like family because it's just hard when I have such limited time. I can only like run from these hours. Like all my runs are now basically start at 8 o'clock. Like every workout is 8 o'clock onwards. Like, and
Right.
yeah, so it's just like because that's when Iris goes, the kid goes to bed, and that's the time you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With children, you can't pick and choose.
No, exactly. And like my wife's great. Like I get to go and do a couple hours in the weekend and stuff like that. So it's
Right.
definitely a balance. But yeah, with just with that, you don't get as much flexibility to work with like a club because they might have a workout at 5 and like yeah, it works for 90%. And when my kid's 10, sure, that'll work. But when they're
Right.
this little, it doesn't really work when you're balancing everything.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what we see a lot of people, they come into triathlon when they're young.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden they have children, they disappear for 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Then they're like, it's time to be at the dad strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
In the club we've lost a lot of people over the years for that. And then
Mhm.
you see them 10 years later coming back and they're like, "Oh, I got to get back into it."
Yeah, I remember how easy this used to be. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I could ever not run. That's like the truth, that piece of my like personality and soul.
Right.
Mhm.
So did you ever do a full Ironman or no?
Yes, so I have checked that box, and I don't know if I ever want to check it again. But yeah, I did. It was like we built up to it. It was going great. I was like, so for most pro races, top 10's prize money. So essentially, as a pro, if you're not in the top 10, you're there's practically no point. You're not making money. So
Right.
basically, I was Florida was my first one. So like I
Florida?
swam, yeah, Florida, yeah, so
Okay.
flat. This was 2019, I think. Yeah, 2019. So I
Okay.
did like Florida. I was like crazy fit. I swam well. I rode really well. I was basically in eighth to 10th running off the bike, and I just went for it. Like went through the half probably in 120 for a half, and then just exploded and like walk ran the rest of it. And that probably like I think it shot me in the foot a little bit. Like I was really, really good at 70.3s and jumping up kind of took a little bit of edge away from the 70.3s. And
Right.
I tried Mont Tremblant, but I just didn't. I came off the bike and I was in like 20th, and I'm just like, I can't run myself up into first. I'm not going to injure myself up for no prize
Right.
money. So I chose to like save it for later. So I've done a couple. Anyone who does it, props to you. Like those are hard races.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, like pros doing it in 8 sub 8 hours to age groupers just coming across the finish line. Like for the age groupers, honestly, I think it's harder than us doing it in like 9 hours versus like yeah.
Or me in 13 and a half hours.
Yeah.
You're glad to see the finish line, that's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. And any day.
Um, so are you planning on doing any like long distance like ultras like 100 mile or
Maybe eventually, like 100 miler is a little bit out of my like radar. It just seems a little bit too far of a stretch right now. Once I've
right,
felt like I've mastered the 50K, I'll move up to like the 180K kind of range. But right
right,
now, I still feel like I'm making mistakes at the 50K. I'm hitting like 30, 40K and barely able to move. I'm like, there's no way I could do another 50K like of like
right,
running. So I've got lots to learn. And yeah, so that's kind of the exciting part is like nutrition's huge, like the day's huge, pacing. There's so many like puzzly pieces that I haven't figured out. Yeah.
right. Do you have anybody that you can kind of like mentor in
Yeah,
long
actually,
distance?
I'm pretty lucky. Dylan Puss, who lives like in Guelph, he was like third at nationals for the 80K, and he won Sulphur Springs. Like he missed the record by like a minute, and
Wow.
it was muddy. Like I've never ran in that. Like it was like half like a foot of mud on the trail, and he like almost took the course record. So I'm like, I would not be
Wow.
surprised. Like he's my pick for winning nationals. So I've sort of got a bit of a like mentor kind of person there, which is pretty cool. And someone to do my crazy 4 hour runs with.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
That's
so that's
great.
fun. Yeah.
That's great. And any plans for any more children or
Mm,
now one and done?
one is enough right now, but we'll see. Like I've got a year left of school, so if we have a second, it would probably happen sometime around that, and that'll
Oh,
put like
oh,
my current one will be in that age three kind of area, so that'd be pretty good. Yeah, so we'll
okay.
see. I may by that time I may have forgotten all the horrors of 6 months old.
The first one?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, that's great. This has been great, Taylor. It's great to
Yeah,
sit down
thanks.
and talk to you. It's been a while since we talked,
Yeah.
and I wish the best for you for the future, and hopefully your schooling goes well. And um, yeah, we'll see you really soon.
Yeah, lots of still exciting things to happen. If anyone's at Guelph Lake, come say hi. I'll be in repping my blue outfit, but yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay, right. And that's with the dealership's color, right?
Oh no, this is just the color I like.
Oh,
The dealer it's just a Subaru like kind of dealership, but yeah, I just like this color. I'm like, it looks good. It was like my own design, and like this one's actually pretty cool. I'll do it like end on this because this design is my dad made it. So he like drew this like loon thing that's spiraling around. So I like kind of
okay,
like lifted that as like my like kind of family logo, family crest kind of thing. So like that's on all
okay,
my like gear essentially. Same with like I have a wolf like design that I did. So I've like kind of branded myself with different like cool looking things. Yeah.
okay. For those of you who don't know, Taylor's dad is an artist, a
Hmm.
very well respected artist in the Toronto area.
Yeah, he's got a couple, at least one piece in the was the Governor General's office or whatever. So that was pretty
Oh,
cool.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Taylor, it's been great.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll talk soon again.
All right, bye guys.